primary objective of any project manager is delivering quality projects within scope, on time, and on budget. The project lifecycle begins long before your operations team gets involved. D-Tool software provides solutions from the first client meeting through project completion and on to service. Starting with D-Tool's mobile quote, your sales team can quickly define scope and budget and secure customer approval. Next, System Integrator provides robust tools to build and analyze a detailed proposal, plus reporting capabilities for internal review and client presentation. Finally, the customer portal enables designers to present proposals and other project documents to your customers for review, approval, and e-signature. With a signed contract, scope of work, and bill of materials, your operations team can now deliver. For the remainder of this video, we will look at how D-Tool System Integrator software can help your team move projects from contract to completion and through to service. Now let's take a tour of the project management workflow in SI. Every project needs planning, and some amount of documentation is required to be successful. This might include engineering changes leading to revisions of the bill of materials, and confidence that the correct equipment is ordered. Later, we can begin forecasting resource needs using the calendar and lock in the schedule. Then we can send our teams into the field and track installation progress with real-time feedback. Periodically, it is valuable to review team effectiveness. We can analyze estimated versus actual hours and cost using the resource hours tools. At this point, our project should be ready to hand over to service where they can manage scheduled maintenance and tend to problems that may arise. D-Tool System Integrator is truly an end-to-end solution. When a project manager takes responsibility for a project, he must ensure that all necessary information is in order to complete the job effectively. This can be as simple as reviewing project documentation to validate that it is complete and thorough. It could also mean review and approval of internal change orders required to determine current year models and replace equipment allowances from the project quote with a complete equipment list. Let's take a look. Starting with an approved project, any changes to the project price or equipment list require a change order. Let's start with an internal change order so we can verify the bill of materials is up to date. A cable allowance might make sense for project quotation, but when it comes to documentation and purchasing, it just won't do. In SI, we can add appropriate cabling as non-billable items to update our bill of materials. Let's go ahead and add some Cat6 cabling to these surveillance cameras. We'll go ahead and add this to change order number 1. Let's just double check the pricing. And SI automatically sets these items as non-billable. This process can be repeated throughout the project. The goal is to maintain a $0 internal change, which we've done. When all of our updates are completed, we can mark the change order as approved. We'll add our change order notes, and now we understand the reason behind this change. Managing change is a critical part of successful project management. SI is ready to handle any project changes, from an internal change order like we just demonstrated to an external change order that addresses client requests, allowing you to manage project details, control contract values, and track the history of project changes. This is just one more area where SI delivers. Moving on to purchasing, we initiate the process by issuing a request from the project. Purchase orders are created by vendor. When orders arrive, SI allows us to manage receiving. All of this information can be tracked from within the project. Let's go ahead and issue a purchase order request. We may want to request materials by vendor, by phase, or even by system. Before running our purchase order request report, we can filter the item list as necessary. Save as PDF or print and deliver to your purchasing team. Let's be sure to mark the item's order status as POR issued to help us keep track of purchase requests. With a POR in hand, our purchasing team can begin to procure equipment. In SI, equipment is assigned to a preferred vendor to simplify ordering. A purchase order is created for each vendor. POs can be issued for items on one project or several projects, as well as materials for stock. SI tracks important details like order date, status, shipping preference, requested delivery date, vendor reference number, such as for a custom quote, and if the vendor provides an expected delivery date, this can be reflected on the PO and within the project. Order receiving is simple and flexible. An order can be received in full, or several partial receipts can be created as packages arrive. Key purchasing information is shared back to the project in order to provide a complete picture for the project manager. SI has a built-in calendar for managing the installation schedule. Projects can be placed on the calendar weeks or months ahead as placeholders to assist with planning and labor forecasting. Tasks store project installation details, including dates, labor budgets, details of work to be performed, and resource assignments. The mobile install service notifies resources of upcoming tasks. The SI scheduling tools and mobile install both allow for tracking of task status and % complete. Mobile install can be used to communicate site details like notes and photos back to SI. Let's see how this works. Let's start by taking a look at the calendar. The calendar includes both tasks and service orders to give us visibility for all resources. Notice here we can see a list of customers, and also we can filter by resource. Let's take a look at a task from last week. We performed the rough-in for our security camera project, installing Cat6 wiring. 2 resources were tasked with the project. Each were provided a budget of 24 hours. The work was completed in 25. Now let's go ahead and create a task to install the cameras. We'll filter by category to make it easy to locate just the surveillance cameras. We'll add this to the task with an 8-hour budget. We can assign a single resource. The default value for estimated hours is 1. We can manually set it to 8 to match the hours from the items, or if we assign our estimated hours based on the total labor hours of 8, we get the same results. We'll go back to the General tab and make sure that we compute the end to properly assign this task on the calendar. And at this point, we'll go ahead and publish out to mobile install as well. When we publish to mobile install, we have the option of including reports as well as other project documents. And there's our task. Here we are in mobile install. The dashboard provides a view of tasks and service orders with status. Along the left side is a calendar, task list, service order list, and an installer's view for downloading timesheets. Let's take a look at our task. We'll click on the Install Cameras task. We see the overview information here initially. We'll click the Start Work button in the upper right, and mobile install will start to track time. Notice our task status is now in progress, and let's take a look. We have a list of cameras ready for install. We can mark them as picked, and then we can begin to mark items as installed. We'll install tracks information for the pick status, install date. We can see the equipment component ID, and there are also fields for serial number, IP address, 2 MAC addresses, and install notes. Site notes can be added as well. Arrived on site, comma, spoke with the superintendent, comma, and got to work, period. We'll go ahead and stop the clock, track time, add a note, installed 3 cameras. And that's D-Tools Mobile Install. Back in SI, we can see our task is now marked as in progress and 25% complete. Let's take a look at some details. We can see the updated information coming directly from mobile install. The site notes that were added are here for review, and actual hours are getting tracked. Reviewing completed tasks can point out training opportunities for underperforming team members, as well as help us identify technicians and other resources who consistently deliver high-quality results. Note that we can see both estimated and actual time and cost by resource and task for both past and future work. Tasks and service orders work in a near identical fashion. With service orders, products and labor can be added directly from the catalog. For mobile install, products and labor can be added in the field. Customers can approve and sign service orders using any mobile device. Service order totals, including field notes and signatures, can be reported on from within SI. Since tasks and service orders are so similar, let's take a look at what makes service orders unique. We have an existing service order. Note, it has 2 labor items included. The first is a standard service call that was added when the service order was initiated. The second labor item was added in the field using mobile install. Here is an example of adding site labor in a service order. It's that easy. Now let's run a report on our service order and see some results. This report will include the total for the service order, including field added labor, site notes, and customer signature. Thank you for exploring System Integrator's project management workflow. To learn more about D-Tools software, send a message to salesteam@dtools.com. That's d-tools.com.